All right, y'all, what is up and welcome back. So today we got a terrifying story, actually. Yeah, a young man has taken to social media and posted his entire pay stub to warn other men of the dangers of child support and how much is actually left after child support. So I want to bring this check up and I want to take a look at it with y'all because we got to talk about this. All right, so looks like this guy makes around $20 an hour. 80 hours on this stub, so this is a bi-weekly check, most likely making $1,600 even bi-weekly, right? He's got Medicare coming out, Social Security coming out, federal tax coming out, state tax coming out, pretty standard stuff, right? And then he has this whopping $903 child support payment coming out, leaving him with $382.93. Yes. His whole entire check is gone. That child support kicked him right up in the butt. All right. What I'm thinking is this is a monthly payment, like most child support payments are monthly, but some child support payments can come out weekly or bi-weekly, depending on what type of arrangement you have with the family court. But this is terrible because I doubt he has enough money to live on after this has come out, not to mention all the other bills he's probably facing. Car note, car insurance, cable lights, etc. This is extremely important for many reasons. One reason is, fellas, you gotta watch who you're getting pregnant. Yes, I know y'all hear that over and over, but it's not as simple as, oh, don't create a lineage with the wrong person. No, you will go broke over this stuff, guys. You will go completely broke. Like that Kanye song, 18 years. 18 years. And on the 18th birthday, he found out it wasn't his. No, this is real life, though. I've known guys to purposefully quit jobs to avoid paying child support. Yes, I've known guys to do that. I've also known guys that actually take care of their kids, get their kids half the time, spend money on their kids, buy their kids school clothes, do everything right. And at the end of the day, the mother is so bitter with the man, probably because he has a new woman in his life, that she will still put him on child support in lieu of all this stuff, in lieu of all the stuff that he's doing for his kid already. So this isn't completely unheard of. I used to work at a call center a long time ago, back in the mid 2000s, maybe around 2010. Not making a lot of money, maybe around $13 an hour, something like that. We would get paid bi-weekly, and I think the bi-weekly check was around $1,200 or $1,300, something like that, right? And I remember seeing one of my friends outside smoking a cigarette, and he didn't usually smoke cigarettes. And I went up to him and I asked him, I said, "Hey, bud, you all right?" And he said, "Nah, man, I'm going through it." And I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "Child support has just been taken out of my check for the first time, and I'm sick." And I said, "How much did they take?" They couldn't have took nothing but a couple $100. He said they left me with $175. They left him with $175. I said, "Jesus Christ, bro, how many kids do you have by this woman?" He said 3. I said, "Well, that'll do it. That'll do it right there. Having 3 kids with the wrong woman is worse than having 1 kid with the wrong woman. Trust me. And yeah, they will take all those payments out at one specific time. I think this is one of the reasons why the US has such steep declining birth rates at this point. Because people are afraid to have kids. Men are afraid to get a woman pregnant at this point, because at any given point, this woman can wake up one day, have a dream that you cheated, wake up, decide that her heart isn't with you anymore, and get child support out of you. This is a truth. This is a harsh truth that a lot of men have to live with. And as a man in the court system, especially in the family court system, you have to prove that the mother is unfit to gain custody. She automatically gains custody, which I think is completely unfair. I think it's the person that has the better means of providing, that person should gain custody. But, I'm not a politician, so I can't change anything. But I think that's completely unfair. And I think a lot of men also share that sentiment. And that's why men aren't forming families and starting families like they used to. And like I said, at any given point, this can happen. After one argument, you never know when you may be one argument away from signing over half of your check. And not to mention my guys that are married out there. Not to mention my guys that are married and traditional at the same time and bearing the brunt of most of the bills in the household. Oh my God, you're going to be paying child support, alimony, you're going to be paying spousal support, all this different stuff. And at the end of the day, you're going to have crumbs to yourself at the end of your check. That's it. Everything is getting garnished. And this is a federal garnishment. There's no running from this. There's no running from this. By the time that kid is 18, that's it. That's all your money gone. What I'm hoping is that a lot of women that have their man on child support are using that money and putting that away in an account for that kid, to where that kid becomes an adult. She just gives them all the money, like, hey, here's 30 grand from all the child support. Go buy you a house. Go put a down payment on a house so you can have some type of equity for your future. But I mean, how often do y'all think that happens? Barely, right? Barely. But yeah, this is a problem. And like I said, there's a lot of guys that actually take care of their kids. There's a lot of guys that actually take care of their kids, and they shouldn't be put on child support, but they're being put on child support anyway, just because the woman is mad, just because she's vindictive, just because she's upset at the fact that he has a new woman in his life, and they may be having kids of their own. And Jesus Christ, for God's sake, stop having kids by multiple women. Because if you get put on child support by multiple women, you are just, bro, there's nothing left of your check. There's a lot of guys that do under the table jobs, especially. I mean, hell, if you go ask any of the security guards anywhere in these nightclubs and even some malls and stuff like that, hey, why are you doing security? A lot of them get paid under the table, and they want to get paid under the table because that frees them from paying any federal debt. And yes, child support will land you in jail eventually. So if you're making money and they find out about it and you haven't been paying child support, you can get put in jail for that. Yes. So what we have here is a system where you're at high risk. As a man, you are at super high risk for losing everything just because you have a child. And like I said, that's going to feed into the declining birth rates in the US that a lot of people are talking about. And I think a lot of it has to do with this. What I think we need some type of reform with our family court system. I don't think that the mother should automatically get the kid. I mean, there are statistics that show that kids do better in a single parent household with a father versus the mother. So I think those statistics should be brought into court, and new legislation should come about to where it becomes an equal battle. You know what I mean? It becomes an equal battle for the man and the woman. It's not just some one-sided thing where, oh, I'm the man, I have to prove that this woman is taking drugs and doing this and she's out in the street partying and twerking on top of cars. No, it should be who has the better means to provide. And I think they should take a psych test too. I believe that the mother and the father should both take a psych test, and whoever has the highest psych evaluation, that should count towards them gaining primary custody of the child. Call me crazy. Look, call me crazy, but I think your psychological evaluation should have a lot to do with you raising a kid, because there's so many people that are not qualified to raise kids, even the people with money. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're qualified to take care of a kid. You need to have a stable mindset. You need to have a mindset where you keep going in the face of adversity. Because if you stumble and fall and you crumble right in front of your kid's gonna have some type of emotional trauma. They walk in, they see their parent just breaking down, crying, drowning their sorrows in a bottle or doing something weird. Of course, they're going to have emotional trauma. I think the kid should go with the more emotionally stable parent, which may not always be the dad. I'm not just caping for the men. It may not always be the dad. Sometimes it may be the mom. But I think this is critical stuff that should go into who gets the kid. Okay, especially when there's not any type of shared custody and they're just fighting back and forth for custody, because at the end of the day, it's so counterproductive for the kid. It's so counterproductive. And for all my guys out there that are actually taking care of your kids and you're still on child support, please lawyer up. Save whatever money you can save, lawyer up, take her back to family court so you can get those child support payments lowered, and you can explain to the judge what you're doing and how you're doing it. That way, maybe you can gain custody at the end of the day and you won't even have to pay child support. And for all my deadbeat dads out there, you deserve to be on child support. I hope they up your child support payments, you deadbeat. Take care of your kid. But anyway, I want to know what y'all think about this. As always, this is a very controversial topic. So let me know what you think about this in the comments. And as always, if you like what you see, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.